2, 1, go.
Welcome to What's the Score for Everton's trip down to the Hawthorns. It's a game that I think I'm looking forward to, but really not looking forward to at the same time.
Cat's getting involved. Could I just comment first, mate, on your shirt as well? Fluminense one. Lot of time for that.
Yeah, it's Richarlison's old Brazilian team. I did mailbag with Dan Vane, and he had one on, and I've been after one for ages. Asked him where he got it. M&M Sports for 25 quid.
Class that. I think there'll be a lot of people getting onto that after seeing you with that on there. But yeah, it's we're in the hunt for something, aren't we? And with that, it feels like we're saying every week that this is the most important game we've had for weeks, months, years. And it's horrible. And watching that Southampton game on Monday, like towards the end, it was like, oh my god, this is horrible. But this is what we want, isn't it? You've got to. I think somebody said on one of the shows this week, forgive me, I can't remember who it is, but you've got to embrace the pressure. Got to embrace the pressure of these sorts of run-ins. And Everton have got, we'll go 26 games tonight, won't we? This will be our 26th game of the season. So we're over 2/3 of the campaign by the end of tonight, and we're in the hunt for the Champions League. That's great.
It's a very different feeling, isn't it? As you said, every game has its own sort of pressure now, which under usual circumstances, we'd be looking at this mid-table thinking, whatever, it's going to be a horrible game, not really that interested. Still watch it, but probably more passively than we will tonight. You get the feeling with this one, though, it's a little bit like beat Villa go top. But if we do win this tonight, it's massive on Monday then. It's like, right, this is properly on now. Because you look at Man United dropping points as well. Last night, I think Dave tweeted something last night saying, forget about fourth, let's go for second, which you've got.
They've got City away this weekend as well. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be, I know they've got a great away record, United, but that's going to be a hard game for them. But it's nice watching some of these games and have like an actual interest in them and, wanting teams. Last night, I was out running and I had the second half of Leicester Burnley on the radio while I was running around. I was like cheering Burnley on virtually. It's like, come on, lads, station the boys. Let's get a winner here and knock them off. But that's good, isn't it? It's, so often we've been at this point where we checked out, but I think ultimately it's got to be about us, hasn't it? Listen, there will be bumps in the road, and if Everton slip up tonight, then I don't think by any means it's the end of the charge necessarily, because every team's getting mad results. You saw Sheffield United beat Villa with 10 men for the last 35 minutes last night. These things are happening, and there's going to be more frustration. There's going to be times probably between now and the end of the season where we think it's gone before we go and get another mad result somewhere. But I think you're right. It's if you win tonight, you go into the top four, albeit for potentially a little bit. You can sort of look at that game on Monday in two ways. You can say it's our biggest game we've had for a long, long time in regards to playing one of our top four rivals and trying to take points off them. Or you can go, right, it's a free hit. We've got a great way forward. We can go down there, have a bit of a go at it and see. And if we get beat, then, we are where we are on the table. We're still in contention for it. So it's just, I think this is a game which sets up the next few weeks, doesn't it? And it's exciting with that in mind. But yeah, I'm not expecting an easy game at all tonight, mate. I think it'll be really tight. And we'll have to play very well to get the best results.
Yeah, it's going to be a dog of a game, isn't it? Really. If you look at West Brom's form, they've picked up the last few games. Drew against United, drew against Burnley 2-0 nils, and amazingly beat Brighton 1-0 at the weekend. So that's 3 clean sheets in the last 3 games. I was listening to the match preview, and it's like this Allardyce football. You don't know it until it hits you, do you? Until it comes to your club, you can't really appreciate what it's all about. It's just a big sort of nothingness. But he'll be looking at this game tonight, and he'll want to keep a clean sheet. He'll want to stay in the game. It's going to be like we look at games, say like when we said against Liverpool, stay in the game as long as you can, see what happens towards the end. That's how he'll be approaching this game. He will try and make this game an absolute void of any football or anything. And that's the thing we've really got to overcome, isn't it?
Yeah, that's something we've done at times this season. Don't get me wrong, albeit we've got more quality in the team now than we did when we had Allardyce. But there's been so many, there's been a lot of talk about XG and all that, hasn't there, this week and stuff like that. And we're not very good when it comes to that sort of thing, whether you like that sort of stuff or not. But yeah, there's going to be an onus on us tonight to have more of the ball and be creative, because I think while there's only so much you can both sort of look at the ball on the centre spot and point at it and go, no, you have it. There are certain teams that you will ultimately have more of the ball than, and these are one of them. these are one of them, Sheffield United, another one, Burnley or another. You just know that Everton are probably going to have about 60% of the ball tonight. And that's why I'd like to see Rodriguez in the team. That's why I'd like to see Iwobi in the team, potentially playing on the right-hand side as well, to give us someone who can beat a couple of players and provide that little bit of thrust. But yeah, it's a different type of challenge, isn't it? It's a different type of challenge for Everton. Not necessarily one we've done well against recently, but perhaps with Coleman, Davis, Rodriguez, maybe Olsen as well, all being out of the squad on Monday night, might be an indication of where we're going to go. And you'd think Coleman could potentially bring something from right back. Davis will give you a bit of something different in midfield. And of course, Rodriguez can play that pass or find that shot that just decides a game for you. So we're about 30 seconds away from finding out what it is.
I think you're right, though. This is a game where we need width, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah. I'll be a little bit wary about playing Coleman at right back, albeit he did well, obviously, in the derby. But I think I'd probably like to see Holgate play right back and then have Iwobi on the right-hand side with just the option of going to a back three and having more width if we need it there. But, there's obviously the Josh King question as well. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting, but we'll find out imminently because it's just turned 5 o'clock on my screen.
My Twitter feed stopped.
There you go. Alex Iwobi and Bernard start for Everton this evening.
Blimey.
No Rodriguez, Tom Davis, or Seamus Coleman. That is a big surprise. That it's just sort of come in from nowhere, hasn't he?
I can't see. I haven't got the team up. So what is it?
I've just seen Adam Jones's tweet there saying Bernard and Iwobi are both playing.
Yeah, that is a surprise.
So no Rodriguez or Davis or Coleman. Let's see. Just trying to get a refresh now. Still not there. Everton should have this ready to go, scheduled for.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The Albion team's up.
Okay, what's their side?
I'll make a right mess of the names like I did last time. Johnson, Fairlong, O'Shea, Bartley, Townsend, Yockelsloo, Gallagher, Maitland-Niles, Phillips. Yeah, what's his name? I can never say that.
Dianya, is it? Diangana.
Pereira, yeah, Dianya. Absolutely butchered the pronunciation of all the names there, but
still not got our team. So sorry about this, everyone. We're just trying to find it. Here we go. Pickford, Holgate, Keane, Godfrey, Digne, Decore, Gomez, Iwobi, Bernard, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin. So that feels to me very much like 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Iwobi right, Bernard left, Richarlison and Dom up front, Holgate and Dean use your fullbacks. That's pretty much what you'd expect it to be, isn't it?
It's got to be 4-4-2, hasn't it?
You happy with that?
I don't know about Decore and Andre Gomez on their own in the middle.
It's a mad one not having. We've only got 8 subs as well, and two of them are goalies.
Rodriguez isn't even on the bench, is he?
So we've got 2 goalies on the bench and 8 subs. So the bench is João Virginia, Harry Trier, Nkunku, Alan, Onyango, Sigurdsson, Broad, King. But so I suppose we all sort of thought, didn't we, that those knocks, injuries for Olsen, Coleman, and Rodriguez would be amended, and Tom Davis as well, of course. But they're all nowhere to be seen again.
Yeah, I suppose though, if they are sort of 75-80% fit, it's probably not worth risking them ahead of Chelsea because we do need everyone to be sort of full strength for that. Whereas this one, you think we've probably got a little bit more leeway with the team we play. Obviously, everyone still has to be at 100% because this team isn't good enough to carry anyone. So we've all got to be on it. I do just worry about that midfield too there. I never think Andre Gomez looks particularly comfortable as a 2. He always looks better as one of 3 in the middle.
Just on a comment there actually as well. I feel like we do this on every What's the Score. But Stephen Spencer said, could Iwobi go right wing back? I think we always float the idea of us playing a back 3, don't we? And we never actually
yeah,
do. But I think that might be something he looks at with, getting width in the team. You could have Bernard potentially playing in a sort of free role behind that front 2. And then it'd be like a 5-2-1-2 or something like that, or 3-4-1-2, something like that.
If we do go back to the 5 at the back, that 2 in the middle just will kill us because it did. Every time we played 5 at the back early in the season, we played 2 in the middle midfield and it absolutely killed the midfield. So I really hope we don't go with that. Because I've said all along that if you got 5 at the back, you need 3 in the midfield. It needs to be like a 5-3-2 or something like that.
But yeah, it's really disappointing not to have Rodriguez, I think, for this one.
Yeah, it is. Especially how we played against them at Goodison.
Yeah,
that was sort of a high point of the early season, that wasn't it?
They're just going to sit in. So I think, you look at their team. It's just they've got legs, haven't they? Pereira's sort of the one who can create something out of nothing for them.
Yeah,
he's the lad who they signed in January. Who's a big physical fella up front. Phillips, runner. Maitland-Niles is a runner. Gallagher, it's just there's not much there in terms of getting on the ball and quality. So we just need to get amongst them and stop them from settling in the game and try and keep them pinned back. And I think, in fairness, that's something we've not been good at, really, have we? We haven't been able to, it's been a while since we've had a team pinned back and we just kept recycling it and getting up the pitch and doing it like that. So, yeah.
That doesn't really look to me like a team that can do that either.
No, I think unless they go free at the back, I think if you play free at the back, you keep the ball better, don't you, naturally, because you've got that extra player in that line at the back to sort of recycle the ball. But I don't know, it's sort of feel like if you're playing 4-4-2, you can't just be knocking it long in this game because that's what they want. You need to get it into Gomez's feet in good positions. Iwobi and Bernard need to take up intelligent areas coming off the flanks, and then those two need to get into the spaces there. And if you're just bypassing the midfield and knocking it up to their Grock centre halves at the back, then you're playing exactly into the game they want. So but yeah, just a bit disappointed about the lads not being available. Back to the 2 goalkeepers on the bench again. But I suppose we've got players there in Sigurdsson and King who could potentially come on and add something. But maybe apart from them, it's not loads, is there?
Alan can come on and sort of shore up the midfield.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Wrong. So, there are options to change it there in terms of bodies and formation. I suppose having Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin up front again, that's a big one for me, actually, because I think, as I said last time, they just seem to play better together. They're a definite strike partnership, them two. I think we saw Southampton, the way they work off each other. And we just, in this one again, we just need to hit the ground running, don't we?
Yeah, we scored early in the last couple, haven't we? Which has been nice. Just look at the comments here. Natty saying, "Where is our creativity coming from?" But you'd say Bernard and Digne are your main two there, aren't they? That's they're the ones
who will be on the right.
Try and find the pass in Wobie. And Michael Blakely saying same diamond and just Bernard for Sigurdsson and Decore sitting. I don't know about that. I'd be surprised if that was the case. Where does Iwobi go then? Does he just go into a central? I don't think he'll play him as an out central midfielder. I think that looks very much 4-4-2. Natty also said the game might be too physical for Bernard. Stephen Bentley, good choices in Iwobi and Bernard by Carlo. We need more creative players who can unlock a horrible 10-man Big Sam defence. Neil said, I'm going for a scruffy 2-1 victory. This is going to be a slog, but it's points over performances for me up the toffees.
Yeah, I suppose the way that looks, he has gone for width, to be fair. Which, it's probably a better option than trying to play through these, isn't it? Sort of get round them. Seems to be a better plan against these. We'll see. He usually makes a bit of a knobhead out of us anyway, so I'm sure
yeah, absolutely.
Got some score predictions here. Stu said 3-0 King to score as well. He said he'll come on in the 88th and score in the 94th.
That'd be nice. Yeah, hopefully you are 2-0 up by then.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? A routine team win, that's all we ask.
In a while, honest. We had one in the league.
My dad's, it has. Anfield.
Oh, God, yeah.
Which I never thought to say. My dad said 3-1 to the Toffees. Where's everyone else gone? There they are.
Let us know your predictions as well. You people watching in the comments. Give us a shout.
Yeah, get involved because we always get it wrong.
Yeah.
Laura said 2-1 Toffees. Hannah agreed. You said 0-0. Shite, Sam in, Carlo out.
Oh, that was just an inflammatory statement to get people replying in the group, yeah.
Rob Vieira, 2-0 Tops.
That's right.
Jack Carlisle said 2-0 to the Dudley Destroyer. Blimey. Jack trying it in there.
I think Jack predicts us to lose every single week, doesn't he, to be fair?
It's becoming a theme now, that. Definitely. It's more about what he calls the oppositions anyway, with Jack's score predictions. What actual prediction is.
Yeah. I reckon it's going to be I feel like we haven't had a late winner this season. I reckon it might be that sort of game. Someone obscure to score on 85.
Yeah, do the Victor Anichebe thing.
Yeah.
Think of scoring at West Brom for some reason.
New Year's Day, wasn't it? 2000.
Yeah.
The last time we won on New Year's Day, that I think 2012. He scored like scabby goal right at the end, wasn't it?
Didn't celebrate, looked miserable as he scored.
Yeah, I reckon someone like maybe like King or Sigurdsson to come off the bench and score. I feel like it might be that sort of game, 1-0, but I'd be bouncing if we managed to get that. Absolutely bouncing.
Yeah. Tell you what, though, if that's the case, that'll be a horrible 80-odd minutes, won't it?
Oh, grim, yeah. Absolutely grim.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a scruffy 2-1. I don't know why I can see them scoring, but I can. Although they've done nothing in recent games to suggest that they can score, even against Brighton.
Yeah, but they had a couple of chances, didn't they? But they are very open at the back. But no, it's one of them. You know, I'm all for the football we've been playing recently because it's been getting us results. But this is one we need to be a bit more positive, and you need to try and knock these out of any sort of rhythm they've got, put them under pressure, and try and get off to a fast start and just take control of the game because they're not a good side. You know, they picked up a little bit recently, but they're really not a good side. We should be going there and winning the game, and you know, got to go there and put some sort of emphasis, some sort of positivity. You know, highlight, squeeze up, keep them penned in, create a few early chances, and unsettle them. Let them know it's going to be a hard game for them.
Yeah, I've got to remember as well that Sam Allardyce isn't this sort of defensive mastermind he seems to think he is, because his team routinely get destroyed by anyone.
They conceded 5 to City and 5 to Leeds, haven't they? Yeah.
Times, yeah. So. When he was manager of us, I think Spurs slotted 4 past us, didn't he? Arsenal 5. So yeah, you know, his team can be got at, and it seems like he can be pretty fragile if you score. So again, it's, you know, go at them early, see what we can do from the off.
Yeah, let's quickly rattle through. See, we've got any more predictions. Ian Clark 3-1. Natty saying 0-0. Oh God, I hope not me. Steve Spencer 3-0 Blues. Joe O'Brien will go 3-0. Getting an early goal is key. Otherwise, I'll hate this match against a Big Sam horrible team. I think that's absolutely what we're all fearing. Ian Clark changed his prediction from 3-1 to 4-1.
Get in.
Obviously, as people listen to us talk more, they feel more positive about the game.
Yeah. I can't believe you make anyone feel positive.
I know. And now he said I'm haunted by the way we nearly had Southampton equalise at the end. But fair enough. But I suppose that was the only real chance they had in the game, wasn't it? But
pretty much, yeah. Do you know what? I think it's good to see Pickford get a start again, which is something I didn't think I'd say this season.
He was hobbling a bit at the end of that game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah, I thought Olsen might play tonight, but obviously he's not fit either. So.
Yeah, judging by the keepers we've got there, yeah. So, but you know, it's another big one for Pickford, isn't it? Yeah, I think we said earlier in the season, you know, we need a 10-game run, and then to just build on that before we sort of trust him completely. But
yeah, they're going to be flinging crosses in, set pieces under him. They'll have some monster centre half stood in front of him on everything. You know, he's got to be really assertive and commanding in his box. Otherwise, he'll just get bullied. Mosey's just messaged as well saying, "I agree with that lineup. #the big match." So he's obviously feeling confident. He'll be on post match as well with Dave Darney. So yeah, looking forward to that. Hopefully, we can get the flat cap out at last for Dave. It's been a while.
Hopefully, tell him to get it sorted. I'll be on about that.
Because on Monday he got kept in work late, so he couldn't come on the show. But tonight could be the night, and I know people are very enthusiastic about that hat. So
it's more exciting than an Everton win.
It is
the way it is.
It is
definitely.
Blue Room Style Council.
Everyone tune back in for that. Then that'll be on sort of straight after the game. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for getting involved.